I bought a QMX Mini because I needed a radio that was small and light enough to take mountain biking. So I took this one mountain biking. I went to Number 2 Canyon, just outside of Wenatchee, Washington, and the Number 2 Canyon trail system climbs up to the top of Horse Lake Mountain, which is a summit I can activate. Here's my story. So here's the activation zone. It looks like a great activation zone to me. There are trees that you can hang a wire from if you wish to do so. It was breezy in places on the way up here, but it feels like this is relatively sheltered, if that does you any good to know that. Let's go ahead and show off the equipment I brought. So I brought the QMX Mini that I just finished building and a carbon fiber mast, and that's it. So I will be doing a CW only activation. I do have my HT, so I can add FM. So we'll just call it a CW and FM activation. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up. Looking at what we have, and here I've got wire winder that I designed. I keep going through different iterations of this. I'm gonna work on an even smaller one. This is a full 40, 30, 20 end fed half wave. So it's got links for each of the bands, and I can detach the 40 meters and the 30 meter links from the 20 meter link, which means I can make it, if I have a short amount of space, or if I'm short on space, then I can just deploy the 20 meter wire. This is a resonant antenna. I will design eventually a winder that with the that is smaller than this to kind of match this QMX. Here's the little baby transceiver that I have. So CW only activation, because this only does CW in digital modes, and I didn't want to carry a computer. This weighs about a pound, a little over a pound less than my KX2 setup. And of course that includes the string, little mini paddle that I've built, that I designed and 3D printed, headphones. And the way I'm powering this thing, I didn't want to get a specific 9-volt lithium or anything like that. So I have this 11.1 volt lithium battery, and then I made a separate power cable, and inside of this heat shrink there are 3 diodes in series. So that's how I drop the voltage on this. So in the QMX transceiver, you can wind the output transformer to power the radio off 9 volts or to power the radio off 12 volts. But powered off 12 volts, it's about 4 and some change watts, whereas at 9 volts, it's just a little over 5. So what I did is I have an 11 volt lithium battery here, and then I soldered 3 diodes in series into this power cable, and the 3 diodes in series, each diode drops about 0.6 volts. So that dropping 1.8 volts brings it down to approximately 9.2, 9.3 volts. I think I could get away with that. And that gives me a power source for the QMX while I didn't have to buy yet another set of different batteries with different voltages, because I use this one to run my True SDX as well. So this is my kit. The whole kit weighs just a little over a pound. I could probably get it to less than a pound if I was really trying harder. But let's go ahead and get this antenna set up. It's not a mountain bike activation unless you use the mountain bike itself as one of the supports for your antenna. I believe that's the law. Oh man, this is just a beautiful, I am so pleased with my decision to come up here for this activation, to mountain bike here. I just decided, I was like looking for what I needed. I needed to find something to do with myself. And I wanted to get out here to Wenatchee before, well, the getting's still good, because it can get pretty dry toward the end of the summer season up here. And I am very pleased with my decision. So it looks like, yeah, this summit's great. Plenty of space for setting things up. Like I said, you could probably use one of those trees. I don't use trees to hang antennas. I don't like getting stuff stuck in trees. And it's one of those things, like if we all do it, eventually the trees will start to look like, the trees near fishing spots start to look, right? Just a lot of lines stuck up in the tree. It doesn't take very many people making a mistake before you start decorating, and leaving evidence of your presence can sometimes turn the public against you. So the best if they just don't even notice that we were here. The best way to do that is with a mast. It's not that heavy. It's always good to show off what I do to set this up. I have other videos where I've shown how I set the mast up. Let's show this one again. I'll show you again in this video. I know that this adds a little weight, carrying the mast, carrying the third guy line for the mast, all that stuff that I do. But in the end, I think it's worth it. what I'm gonna do is I think I might be able to get away with. There is just enough underbrush here, enough sagebrush and other little woody plant things that I think I'll be able to get away without having to do any stakes, which I didn't bring any stakes, so that's good. And so I may not need any stakes or bags or anything for tie downs. I think I can probably tie off to vegetation, which is always nice. This is starting to look like a SOTA activator's kind of summit, right? I'll try not to make these pollinators too mad. They're browsing this plant. Pretty they're into it. Whatever's there, they want it. So it's these K6ARK winders that I printed out. And you can just go like this. Okay, we got that up, so I have 2 points supporting it. And then all I have to do is tension these 2 guy lines. It doesn't require much. And then I come out at a slight angle so that this comes up at basically supported like a tri-legged stool or something. Well, it's 3 guy lines essentially. The antenna becomes one of the guy lines. If you're worried about whether the antenna needs to be like directly in line with itself, it needn't. So you needn't worry about that. It works just fine this way. I have become a CW activator now, which means that I also commit all kinds of antenna sins with impunity. I haven't gone completely feral like some people I know who toss a wadded up piece of polystealth into the nearest bush and then start calling CQ, but hey, we're getting there. And this plugs in on there. It kind of just hangs there off the banana jack. I've yet to have a real problem with it, although I may want to redesign that. It does have a little bit of weakness. I do notice that the whole system does start to move more in the wind with this acting like a little flag. I'm not sure how significant that of a problem that really is. Looking at this now, I could probably like put a little hook here or something like that, even just to connect it to the string. Maybe that would help. I don't know if that's, I could just be overthinking it, as is often the case. What would have been really smart would be for me to have started over at that tree, not right here, because now I've got to sit on the ground. It is what it is. The coax is my counterpoise. So yes, the antenna has a counterpoise. It is the jack of the coax. It does seem to work fine. I do not have a speaker or any sort of way of recording this, so because this one is headphones only. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the video now. I will save you watching me silently call CQ, and I will get back to you. I'll let you know how it went, and then we'll also have a descent for me to talk about. Well. Band conditions were not the best today. I had to grind away for about probably 45 minutes to get 5 QSOs on CW. You need 4 to qualify the summit, so I got qualified on HF, and then I pulled out my HT, which is my little VHF radio. Got 4 right, just like within a minute. I got 4, just bam. People in Eastern Washington are monitoring their radios, or at least they were today, so that's great. I had a few issues with my the paddles that I built. There's some, they were misbehaving a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there. They were acting up a little yesterday when I was activating a park, so shame on me for not addressing that. But here we are, we're activated. I did get, as bad as the band, it was so weird. It was up and down, like 20 meters. On 20 meters, I did manage 2 QSOs on 20, one of which was one was in Bandon, of all places, and then the other one was in, Bandon is in Oregon, so it's not, I guess it's just far enough for 20 meters. Yeah, okay, that's down there. So that's far enough for 20 meters on first hop, because he came in pretty strong. And then I had another one in Virginia, so it went out to Virginia, 5 watts CW, so can't complain about that. QS wide over to 40 meters. I got reports from folks who were telling me there was a lot of QSB. It worked out pretty well. I'm gonna try to remember to close my 30-meter link before I wind it up. I always forget to do that, and then I set up the antenna and I start off on the wrong band. So I got nobody on 30 meters. 30 is so hit and miss, but I'm glad it's there, glad I have it. So with that, I will say 7-3, get out there and go play with your radios. 87 QOW, clear.